In this lesson, we're going to start the pointy part, the bow. I happen to be fortunate enough to have a friend who has the shipyard plans for a 600-footer. So I took these, scaled them down, and printed them off on cardstock, which we'll use as a guide. I cut out the bow section and created a template. Okay, two templates. For those of you who don't have shipyard plans, here's how I did this when I didn't have shipyard plans. We already know the beam size of our boat, so we take some of our time card stock that is cut to the same width as our bottom piece and fold it exactly in half. Next, we take one of our French curves and draw what you feel to be a good bow half curve. You can, with practice, freehand draw this too. Now, cut the half curve. This does not have to be perfection, folks. Try not to amputate your thumb. Now open it up and see how it looks. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough. Mine matched pretty good. Now take another piece of our time card stock that is also cut the width of the boat's bottom, and after folding it in half, trace the first template's shape onto it. Again, we're not going for perfection here. This time we're going to cut the piece. But we're going to trim it inside the drawn lines to purposely make it slightly more narrow. Mark this as the bottom and the original upper. Now we're going to cut our bow stem. You'll see that I've enhanced the keel line here so it shows up better on the camera. We have two choices here, and both work equally well. First, we'll cut this the same shape as the upper template. Line up the template center line with your keel line. Mine appears to match the shipyard plans pretty well. Now draw the curve onto the bottom. If you make a slip, don't worry about it. We're going to cut away the outer wood anyhow. We can either leave the bottom the same size and shape as the upper, which will make it more blunt, or we can use the more narrow template to cut the bottom more narrow. That provides an elegant slope. My own boats go either way, and it makes little difference when they are running in the waves. Now that you have the bottom cut, we need to draw an index line where the curved area meets the straight area of the bottom. This will help with later alignments. This needs to be a good 90-degree line, not haphazard. Next, cut a sheet that is the same width as your boat's bottom. Line it up and trace around the curve. What we're doing here is making something called Deadwood. These do not have to be perfection either. These allow you to sand a bilge curve into the bow without breaching the hull. I've used as many as 4 of these stacked atop one another in the past, but usually only use 1 or 2. Today I'm only using 1. Spread a thin layer of glue onto it. Fit it into place. And weight it down with some BB-filled paint bottles. If there's not enough room for one of them to stand up, flip it over. Next, we'll make the beam ends. But that's another video.